Assalamu alaikum class. Today we are going to discuss motion of simple pendulum. Before that, let's recall simple harmonic motion. As we have discussed in our previous lectures, what is simple harmonic motion? Simple harmonic motion occurs when the net force is directly proportional to the displacement from the mean position and is always directed toward the mean position. We have discussed in detail what is simple harmonic motion, its mathematical form. We have done this derivation and all this. So its mathematical form is F is directly proportional to displacement. X is showing the displacement and it is always toward the mean position. Then we have discussed that there are three examples of simple harmonic motion. Those are, the number one is motion of mass attached to a spring, ball and bowl system, and the third one is motion of simple pendulum. We have discussed these two examples. Now today we are going to discuss motion of simple pendulum. Before discussing motion of simple pendulum, let's discuss what is a simple pendulum. A simple pendulum consists of a bob of mass m and a light string, and the condition is that light string must be attached to a fixed point. अब हमारी कंडीशन क्या है कि बेटे जो हमारी लाइट स्ट्रिंग है उसका एक पॉइंट जो है वो फिक्स्ड होना चाहिए और अदर जो है उसके साथ एक मैस, एक बॉब, एक बॉल अटैच होनी चाहिए. दिस पोजीशन इज टर्म्ड एज pendulum, simple pendulum. Now let's write the definition. So from here we can write the definition of simple pendulum. That simple pendulum, it consists of a small bob of mass m which is suspended from a light string of length L, and it must be fixed at its upper end. This is the definition of simple pendulum. So what is a simple pendulum? It consists of a small bob, एक छोटा bob होना चाहिए, that is of mass m, and then there will be a light string. That string must be light and it is denoted by L, and then the upper point from which the string is attached must be fixed. These are the condition of simple pendulum. Now we'll discuss the motion of simple pendulum. From here we are going to discuss the motion of simple pendulum. So as we have discussed before, the ball and bowl movement, the motion of mass attached to a spring. First talk about the position, the ball when it is at mean position. Here we have mean position. Now we'll look at different factors. Which two forces will be acting on it? There are two forces that will be acting on it. The first one is tension and the other one is weight. Tension will be always acting upward and the weight of the body is always acting downward. So according to Newton's third law, the action and reaction, they will cancel out the effect of each other. So the body will remain at rest. There will be no force acting on it because these two forces are cancelling out the effect of these two forces are cancelling out the effect of each other. So net force over here, so there will be no force acting at this point. Now let's talk about when we will displace it from the mean position. Now what will happen? I just took that ball and place it over here. Now I'm allowing it to fall freely, to move or to vibrate or to oscillate. What will happen at this position? This is the first extreme position. This is the first extreme position. What will happen over here? Now again, we have discussed in our previous lectures that there is a restoring force act on a body that enables the body to oscillate around its mean position. In the case of motion of mass attached to a spring, the restoring force was the constant that was stored inside that elastic potential. The elastic potential of the spring enables it to oscillate and move. That was its restoring force. In the case of ball and bowl movement, the restoring force was weight. Now over here, what will be the restoring force when we have moved the object to this position? Which thing will allow it to move back, to oscillate around its mean position? As we know, the tension is acting on the upward direction. Now let's look at the weight. Now the weight is resolved into its two components, as we have discussed in our fourth chapter of 9th class book, that the vector could be resolved into its perpendicular components. Here the weight is resolved into its two components. One is that is acting along this side, and the other is that is acting along this side. Let me use another one. This side and this side. This is the vertical component, that is our y-axis, and this is going to be the horizontal component, that is our x-axis. So along y-axis, the wy will be equal to, as w is equals to mgy, so along that y-axis it will be mg cos theta, as it is making an angle. यहाँ पर जब हमने उसको डिस्प्लेस किया फ्रॉम द मेन पोजिशन, द बॉडी इज मेकिंग एन एंगल. सो फ्रॉम हेयर the force that is acting along the y component is mg cos theta, and when we talk about x-axis, it is mg sin theta. So the force that is acting along this direction is mg sin theta. Now what will happen? The component that is acting along y-axis, the mg cos theta, they can cancel out the effect of each other. And now what is left? This component, that is mg sin theta. This mg sin theta would act as an restoring force, and it will allow the body to move back toward the main position. Now we understood that which force will act on this ball, and it will act as a restoring force and oscillate the body toward the mean position. So when it will come toward here, should it stop? Yes, obviously no, because of inertia. Because of inertia, it will kept on moving between the other extreme point and the first mean point. It will keep on oscillating. It will keep on oscillating between point A and B. As we have discussed earlier, we will discuss different points. Hope you are clear up till now. Now we will discuss different points that were the main points through which you can write the whole data about SHM, that is simple harmonic motion. The first is what will be the position of that body. The other is force. The next is acceleration. And the last one is velocity, or you can say speed. We have discussed these points even before, but let me revise them. So what will be the position? What will be the position of the bob? Towards which point? As it is a simple harmonic motion, the position must be toward the mean position, and it is the condition. It is the condition of simple harmonic motion. So similarly, we can see that the body is toward the mean position. So we can write that the position will be always toward the mean position. The next is force. Where the force will be acting? what will be the amount when the force will be maximum and when the force will be minimum. So we can talk about in reference to restoring force as well. Over here, as I have discussed, that these factors are cancelling out the effect of each other. So over here, no force is acting on it. As no force is acting, so we can say there will be minimum force at mean position. Now look over here, when we talk about extreme position, over here the maximum force is acting in the form of restoring force. It is at its maximum point. So the force at will be maximum at extreme positions. Now, what will be the effect of acceleration? As we know that F is equals to ma, that is Newton's second law of motion. So force is directly proportional to acceleration. So the effect of force will be similar on acceleration. If the force will increase, the acceleration will increase. If the force will decrease, the acceleration will decrease. So similarly, we can conclude that as they are directly proportional to each other, so acceleration will be minimum at mean position and it will be maximum at extreme position. Now it's velocity and speed. Let me explain you again, though we have discussed earlier, but what will be the effect of velocity? Over here it is at rest, but when we put that object over here, we are talking about a oscillating body. हम रेस्ट पर या स्टेप बाय स्टेप डिस्कस नहीं कर रहे, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एन ऑसिलेटिंग बॉडी. एज आई हैव गिवन यू एन एग्जांपल ऑफ फ्री फॉल, what will happen? The body, when it will move toward the peak point, for example, this is a freely moving body, that is a free fall that we used to hang on it in the fortress, or we enjoy on these swings and all these things. So what will happen on that free fall? The train, the roller coaster will first move toward the end point. This is the end point. And here we can feel a jerk. And after that jerk, the body, the roller coaster will kept on moving between these 2 points. Again, it will go on that point, will feel a jerk, and then it will move down. So it will keep on oscillating toward these positions. So what will happen when we feel at that jerk at that point? For even a second or a nanosecond, the body stop for a moment and then it come back to position. Then again on the other extreme position, it stop for a second and then it go back to its mean position. So when a body stops at the extreme position, either it is a second or it is a nanosecond, when it stops, the velocity becomes zero. The velocity becomes zero. So after that, it comes back with a speed and passes through the mean position at maximum speed. As it is passing through the maximum speed, that's why it is not stop over here. It will passes from a high speed toward the other extreme position. Then it stop. Then it come back with a speed toward the other mean position. So we concluded that the velocity and speed of a oscillating body is minimum at extreme position and it is maximum at mean position. If you are clear with all of these points, you can easily write all the simple harmonic motion, because these are the points that are theoretically written on our book. You can simply memorize them and you can write them on you can write them on your notebooks, on your papers, and it is easy to memorize. Just keep these 4 points in your mind and you can explain with reference to any example. Then the other thing that comes in simple pendulum is time period. As I have explained you earlier, what is a time period? A time period is the time required to complete one cycle. The one cycle of the body, to complete one cycle, the time that is required is known as the time period of that pendulum. So what is basically a one cycle? For example, this is a circle. Let's split it into 4 parts. The circle is one complete cycle. This is the one complete cycle. When the body will move from here to here, then from here to here, then here, and then here. It means that it has completed one complete cycle. When we talk about pendulum, so a body is oscillating around its mean position. So we'll say from here to here, it completed one part. We'll start from here when we have displaced it from the mean position. Here it has completed one part, then from the mean position it went to the other. So second part, it came back again to the mean position, third part, and then toward the other point. So when it stopped again on that point from where it started, it completed one complete cycle. It completed one complete cycle. So the time required to complete this one cycle is termed as time period of simple pendulum. Let's write its definition. Time period of a pendulum is the time to complete one cycle. Now the condition is, what is the condition of this time period? The condition it is independent of two things. What are these two things? These two things are mass and amplitude. I will tell you about this detail. Let's look at its mathematical form first. T is equals to 2 pi L over G. Now, this is the formula through which we can calculate the time period of a simple pendulum. So over here, the T is time period, 2 pi is a constant, L is the length of the string, the pendulum, the length of the light string of the pendulum, and G is the acceleration, gravitational constant. We are quite familiar of this word, and its value is fixed. It is also a constant. Now, is there any word like mass over here, like displacement over here? Amplitude over here you can relate as displacement from the mean position. For example, here a ball is at mean position. When we displace it over here, this distance, this displacement is termed as its amplitude. So it does not depend upon mass and amplitude. Now, on which factor does it depend? It depends upon the value of gravitational acceleration, which is a constant as well, and the length of the string. So it means that the time period is directly proportional to the length, although it is under root of L, but it is directly proportional. If the length will increase, the time period will increase, but if the length will decrease, the time period will also decrease. So this is all about our today's topic, that is motion of simple pendulum. If you have any question, you can ask me.